Welcome back to Bad Terrible. Today we're going for the Bright and Groom featuring the new Gallade from Astral Radiance with the Buddy Catch ability, allowing you to search your deck for a supporter card and put it into your hand once during your turn. While playing this card with our 4 copies of Kirlia, doing Mirage Step to pull out our stage 2s fast, and we also have our Gardevoir to do Shining Arcana, looking at the top 2 cards of your deck and attaching any basic energy you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. We're also using its brainwave attack for combat, doing 30x damage for each psychic energy attached to this Pokemon, plus a 60 base damage. But we should be aiming to attack with Gallade first, doing Swirling Slice for 160 damage and moving an energy from this Pokemon to one of our bench Gardevoir. And that actually helps us collect energies on our Gardevoir, doing big damage with brainwave later on. If they play boss to knock out our Gardevoir, we can actually use Buddy Catch to search for a Raihan, which is not only going to give us an extra energy, but also help us search for an extra card from the deck, either a choice belt, rare candy, or energy recycler, even our rod or incense. So we have 2 rods to recycle our Gardevoir, 4 rods and 2 rare candy to revive that stage 2 card, making sure we have at least 2 or 3 Gardevoirs in play every single turn so that we get to do Shining Arcana as many times as possible. On to our supporter guys, we have 2 Pokemon Breeder to mass evolve our Kirlia, 2 Raihan, 2 Boss Order, and 1 Skyla to search for our item cards. So if we get our incense early right after doing our Mirage Step, we should be evolving our Gallade first so that we get to do Buddy Catch to search for a Pokemon Breeder, and that's gonna help us summon 2 Gardevoirs to do Shining Arcana for enough energies for our first strike with Swirling Slice. Finally, we have 4 Level Ball, 2 Quick Ball, and 1 Ultra Ball for the setup, 1 Manaphy for the bench protection, and 22 basic Psychic Energy. So that's all for the deck list. Let's go for gameplay! Okay, let's go for our first game. Versus Whimsicott VSTAR, we got our Gallade with Gardevoir, or Bride and Groom, doing Buddy Catch and Shining Arcana. We're trying to pull off both abilities. So the first ability actually helps us get our Pokemon Breeder, which is going to multiply our Gardevoir, and that actually helps us set up our energy cards quite easily to start in the game. So all we need to do first off is obviously Mirage Step with Kirlia. They're pulling out their Bibarel as well. So they got Whimsicott VSTAR and nothing but Bibarel, the very meta deck, the very standard list. And we got 2. Make sure you bench as many rods as you can. We actually got 2 in play right now. Let's just get another one just in case, because the first one is probably going to get knocked out on the next turn if they get their double turbo, which is actually not quite difficult with the Whimsicott deck because they got 4 copies and they got the Bibarel to help them draw, and they already got it in their hand, which is quite ridiculous. That's why I put the... I mean, it's just insane. The meta decks always get the best luck. They got their incense in their hand already and the double turbo without having to draw anything. I mean, it's quite, you know, Brilliant Stars is just the, you know, it was just released before this. So Astral Radiance, it was just before Astral Radiance. This is not that unlikely for them to get that double turbo that, you know, on the first turn, I suppose. So we got our Pokemon Breeder in our hand. Let's just do our Kirlia and then save that card. We may even play a Raihan. I don't think that's wise though, but if we do that, we can get a rare candy. Let's just keep our supporter cards for the next turn. Because if they... We should be playing a Raihan because we actually have an energy in the discard pile right now. So let's get like a rare candy and maybe Breeder to evolve to Gardevoirs. And prepare for a Gallade evolution maybe, I don't know. So if you have already like 2 Gardevoirs in play, I don't think you need a Gallade anymore. Just because you can already evolve, you know, if you have a rare candy, you should be evolving a 3rd Gardevoir so that you can actually attack with more damage. But getting the Gallade out early though actually helps you do Swirling Slice and that actually gives you 160 damage in the game, which is not bad. If they play heal decks though, that's not going to do anything. If they play Heatran VMAX, if they do Inteleon VMAX with Cheryl, if they do Sharon, if they play a lot of heal cards, then Swirling Slice is not going to do anything. But it's going to at least force them to waste those boss orders, right? Because they need to do boss to kill off your Gardevoir on the bench. And if they kill the Gallade, you can't do your buddy catch anymore. So that's actually a gamble. You are risking a knockout either on your bench or, you know, removing the ability from play. So no more buddy catch means you can't actually search for a Raihan, you can't search for a boss order. We actually have 2 copies in this deck, 2 copies of the power supporter cards. 2 breeder, 2 Raihan, 2 boss, and 1 Skyla. We don't actually have anything else. So the initial list actually has a Caitlyn and a Marnie's Pride, but I decided to scrap those cards and swap them for Raihan because Raihan is actually much better. We don't have switch cards in this deck, so Marnie's Pride doesn't actually work. Marnie only works for your bench Pokemon, and if you attach to your bench Gardevoir, you need to switch and then attack with the active, attack with the new active. Otherwise, you can't actually attach enough energy with Shining Arcana. So I think Raihan is better just because you get to attach directly to your active and then play your Shining Arcana to get even more energies. And you know, that 1 extra copy is going to earn you a lot. It's going to help you a lot. You're going to realize that pretty soon in the game as you play this deck. Because this deck is actually quite difficult to play. It's not that straightforward. You need to be very strategic in order to get enough Gardevoirs in play. Every single turn you need to maintain the number of Gardevoirs, you have, so you get to do Shining Arcana over and over and over, and make sure you share your energies. If you share your energies on 2 Gardevoirs at a time, if you have at least 2 copies to start, 2 energies on 2 copies to start, that's good. And then later on you get to, you know, it actually snowballs. You get to grow and grow even more and more. If they kill one or the other, you have to think about charging up your next Gardevoir, your second Gardevoir. Always have at least 2 with a lot of energies attached. Then at least you can reserve 1 if they boss or knock out the other to do a 1-hit knockout late stage in the game, killing a VMAX or a V-Star with 1 hit. That's going to earn you a lot of turns. That's going to earn you a lot of prizes for the win. And that counts a lot for this deck. It counts a lot. So make sure you invest on 2 Gardevoirs every single turn. Invest on 2 Gardevoirs, all of your energies, and don't take it too lightly because that actually is very important. If they kill one or the other, you're still good to go because you can rare candy evolve your second Gardevoir immediately on the same turn after that. So it's not that difficult to come back from that. And if all else fails, we got our Gallade. If they kill too many of your Gardevoirs, we got our Gallade to attack as well. So Swirling Slice does actually do a 2-hit knockout against the VMAX. We have our 1 copy of Choice Belt, so we can actually do Raihan to search for the Choice Belt, Buddy Catch for Raihan, so that's actually a perfect synergy right there, but we only have that 1 copy of the tool card, so we may not get it inside the deck. It may be priced. But that's the worst case scenario though, so we want to be attacking with Gardevoir, but I think it's actually smarter to do Gallade first, because that actually guarantees you extra energies on your bench. So that's why Manaphy is so important for this deck, because if they hit your bench, we're done for. And we actually have a Manaphy prize. I think our Manaphy is inside the prize. We can't actually avoid the Fluffball Star knockout. So they can still kill our Gardevoir without doing a boss with their V-Star power. So that's the risky thing that's the scary thing about Whimsicott, is that they can target any of our Pokemon. They're doing 180 damage, well, minus 20, so they're 160 for Fluffball Star is enough to knock out anything. So we got our 3rd Gardevoir. Let's just do it right now. We're not going to evolve a 2nd Gallade. Let's just not do that. We could think about doing that, but because the first one is dying, and we can't actually search for supporter cards after that. But we should be good if we can draw that many cards into our hand. And we should be really attaching as much as we can every single turn. We can't afford to have only 2 Gardevoirs by this, like by our 3rd turn. We should be having at least 3 copies already. So bad thing about Kirlia is that you may have a few prized or a few copies inside your hand. That means you can't actually do Mirage Step to put them onto your bench. And there's nothing you can do about that. If it's in your hand though, you can play Oranguru, Primate Wisdom, or Searching Cups to put it back into your deck. or like Marnie, Caitlyn. That's why I actually tried to play those cards when I first built this deck, but I decided to scrap those just because it's not that likely for you to have too many copies prized or inside your hand to begin with. It's because we have so many copies of energy, the ratio is just perfect. So it actually, it's very rare that you get very few copies of Kirlia inside the deck when you play that attack. I had a few games that I got only 2 though, just because like the other 2 is prized, which is horrible because you only got like 1 Kirlia on the bench. That means they're gonna kill your active, probably, and you only got 1 Gardevoir on the next turn, which is horrible. And you got Rare Candy for another Gardevoir or a Gallade. That's not enough, honestly. So that's basically the determining factor of this, how good this deck is gonna do, is if you have enough Kirlia inside the deck. But it's not that difficult. As I mentioned, it's not really that difficult for you to get at least 3 inside your deck. If you evolve, obviously you have only 2 and 1 prized. But quite a lot of games I actually got all 4. All 4 inside the deck, and then, well, before I play the evolution, all 4 inside the deck, evolve Mirage Step for 3 on the bench, and then on the next turn we can evolve a lot. All we need is that 1 incense to get a Gardevoir, sorry, to get a Gallade for the buddy catch, and then we can catch a Pokemon Breeder to evolve 2 Gardevoirs with that supporter card, and then Shining Arcana for an incense for a third. Well, we actually need to do a Rare Candy for the 3rd evolution because they're probably going to kill off the active Kirlia after we do the Mirage Step. So right now we need to be thinking about charging up both the Gardevoir. As you can see, we're doing as much as we can to bench another one, but I don't think we can anymore. We need to wait for the Rod and a level ball to bench another rocks, so it's not that easy. We got another energy we're just going to attach to the bench. We're going to attach from our hand to the active, try to do as much damage as we can. We should be attaching to the bench though, just because if they do a boss, well, they got Fluffball Star, so we can't really do anything. It doesn't really matter. But if we attach to the bench, we're actually forcing them to waste either the boss order or their VSTAR power to knock out the 4 energy one. And, you know, attaching to the active allows us to do more damage now, but it would be a better investment to attach to the bench, because if they choose not to use Fluffball Star, if they choose not to waste those ability or supporter card, then we actually get to do more damage more times later on, possibly. But Whimsicott is doing just nice though. It's doing just enough damage to kill the Gardevoir. They actually couldn't kill the Gallade with 1 hit, because Tricky Bean only does 140 damage, so that was quite sad. And their effects doesn't actually work against our deck. If you're playing 1 prize with like basic energies, Whimsicott doesn't do anything, because 1 prize doesn't need V abilities. They got like Path to the Peak, Fan of Waves, Crushing Hammer. We have our Shining Arcana to attach energy, so we don't really need to worry about that. And they actually got a lot of tails. We got quite lucky for this game, but they actually got really lucky as well, because they got their double turbo on the first turn, well, on the second turn, right after evolving, so that's just crazy. I think they attached first before evolving, but they got both on their second turn, and they could do the attack already without having to switch, without having to do anything. They could just immediately attack in the active spot. That's just really, really lucky. I mean, it's insane. So they played a Marnie. Now we need to draw out the non-energies and make sure we get to attach as much as we can this turn. Prepare for a 1-hit knockout on the last V-Star, because all we need is that final knockout to win the game. So we got a boss in our hand. We just need to boss a basic. If they don't evolve both the V-Star, we just need to boss a basic Whimsicott on the next turn. If they don't play a Marnie as well. So they need to either, if they play a Marnie or if they evolve both the bench, then we can't kill for the final 2 prize that easily. We need to get more than 5 energies. I think 5 energies is enough to kill the Whimsicott V. 210 damage is enough to kill the V, the basic one. Okay, we got a lot of energies this turn. We only got one Shining Arcana on the next though, so I don't think we can attach that many. If we get a Raihan, we may be able to kill the VSTAR with one hit. So Raihan Arcana for up to like 5, 6, 7 maybe. We can attach from our hand as well. So 7 is enough. 7 is exactly enough to kill a Whimsicott. And they actually conceded though. They actually conceded. So we got a boss in our hand, as we said. I think it's quite easy. I think we actually have one other boss. So we haven't played a single boss yet, and we got 2 copies in this deck. That means we can easily, even if they Marnie, we can easily just target the bench. And I don't think they can evolve that easily because we already killed the first one. That's our second VSTAR knockout. So it's not wise to bench so many, right? If you are playing a VSTAR or a VMAX deck, always be wise, always think twice before you bench a V card. Especially if you're playing Crobat or Lumineon, I mean, you need to be very careful. So right now we're up against a Mew VMAX with Genesect. Genesect gives us 2 prize for 5 energies. We can actually we can do a knockout even with Aurico Rio because we're doing 210 damage with Brainwave. So Brainwave needs only 5 energies for Gardevoir to do a Genesect knockout. And 5 is not a lot. 5 is quite easy. We got Choice Belt as well, so if we have like 4 energies plus a Choice Belt is enough to kill the Genesect. Mew is a bit more difficult, so we need to be very we need to watch out for that card. And also we need to watch out for Meloetta as well, just because they could just attack with that thing and pass the turn, forcing us to collect 1 prize with so much energy attached, investing so much, wasting a Gardevoir, offering them a Gardevoir, sacrificing a Gardevoir just to knock out a 1 prize, right? That's not good. We don't want to be doing that. So let's just play Skyla for a level ball, get another route and do the Rose Tower, because we can draw quite a lot of cards right now. Rose Tower, Arcana, we can do a lot of things. Let's just hope we don't draw too many energies. If we draw energies though, we can attach from our hand, which is still a good thing, so it's not bad. So it's always good to have energies inside your hand because we have no way of drawing cards other than with the ability. So Shining Arcana is the only way we are drawing cards into our hand. And if we have no energies in our hand, we cannot attach from our hand. We can't use that extra energy, we can't add that extra 1 energy from the hand every single turn because we got no energies. So if you can draw early on in the game, if you get Marnie and if you have a lot of energies in your hand, don't worry, you can still attach them. You can use them up by the end of the game, like by the 5th turn, you would probably have attached all of them already, because you're attaching one by one, and just don't worry about that. We don't need Marnie. That's why I decided to just play 0 Marnie and 0 Caitlyn for this deck. It's not helping at all, those cards. I prefer more breeders, more Raihan. Skyla is perfect though. Skyla helps you get your rare candy, your incense. It helps you get your what other thing does it do? Level ball. Choice belt, right? It helps you get the choice belt. That's like probably the most important thing. Rare candy, choice belt. Okay. So Mew VMAX is ready to go. Are they gonna get the switch card? Probably. They should be by now. Okay, we got a lot of supporter cards. Oh, they actually passed the turn doing nothing. We got a lot of supporter cards in our hand. We don't actually need Gallade anymore. Let's just evolve 2 Gardevoirs. And we got like so many. Let's hope they don't play Avery though. So Avery is gonna completely destroy us, because we actually benched another Ralts, which I don't think is that wise, but oh well. Fingers crossed they don't play an Avery. So make sure you keep your bench small. Have only 4 copies in play, 4 bench in play every single turn, so that if you get Avery, you don't actually have to discard that many. So Avery is gonna destroy Regigigas. I mean, Regigigas is so annoying because it's just totally broken, and it's way too fast. They get to attack way too fast. That's the power of the deck, I suppose. But you know what? All you need is like a Temple of Sinnoh to destroy them. I suppose that's why they play so many stadium cards. They need a lot of like Stormy Mountain, Rose Tower, stuff like that to, you know, to remove Temple of Sinnoh from play. Because if you have Temple of Sinnoh, they can't actually they can't do a one-hit knockout with Regigigas. Well, they actually can because they got Choice Belt, but they can't actually attack with anything else. They can't use Aurora Energy. They can't attack with Registeel, Regieleki, Regidrago. They're stuck. They have to attack with nothing but Regigigas. So I don't think they have that many stadiums either. So they only have like probably 4, like 3 Stormy Mountain and 1 trading card, or like an extra Jubilife Village. I just realized that I've been calling Jubilife Village I've been pronouncing it wrong. I've been calling it Jubilife. It's Jubilife. Sorry guys. So here comes Max Miracle. Well, my bad. Cross Fusion Strike. And they did 280 damage with Techno Blast, I suppose. And the power tablets. So we got Gallade a bit too late. We already have all the necessary supporter cards, and we don't actually need to use Swirling Slice anymore. It would actually be smart to play it though. Like, but if we could do a knockout, I think we're aiming to do a knockout this turn. That's why I decided to put the Gardevoir as the active. So it's always smarter to play out Gallade first, to attack with it first. But if you already have a few of your Gardevoir knocked out, I think it's better to just strike fast. So that's what we wanted to do for this turn. We wanted to do a Genesect knockout with our boss in hand already, and we didn't get our third Gardevoir. So we should have just saved our Incense. You know, we should have saved the Incense. We should have played a Raihan for a Rod and then evolved the Gardevoir on the Kirlia. So we actually only got 5 energies. Well, that's enough though to kill. Oh, we can't do a Raihan. So if we do the Raihan, we can't play a boss. And we need a Rod. Well, we don't need a Rod. We need a Raihan to kill the Genesect, because we don't actually have enough. So 4 energies is not enough to kill anything, except for the Meloetta or the Oricorio. But we need to draw 2 prize. If we're doing a boss, we better be drawing 2 prize with it. So the best bet is to boss twice to kill 2 Genesects, but we couldn't do it, unfortunately. That was the plan. We wanted to kill 2 Genesects in a row, winning the game by drawing 4 prize after that. So instead, we opted for a Raihan, and we did our Rod to evolve another Gardevoir, hoping to I think we played the Incense, which is quite silly. So we actually played the Incense for a Gallade. I have no idea why. We should have played the Incense after doing the Raihan and the Rod. So now we couldn't play and you know, our third Gardevoir. We can't do Shining Arcana in that time. I don't know what's happening. I mean, it's a bit of a blunder, I would say. So we're actually doing brainwave for a decent amount of damage, and then collecting the knockout with Gallade on the next turn. So we are not doing a knockout without Choice Belt, because they have Oricorio. We need to Raihan for a Choice Belt for Swirling Slice to kill the Mew. And if they play Psychic Leap, okay, no more Psychic Leap because they evolved the bench. So no more Psychic Leap is very, very good news for us. That means I don't think they can kill us though. They need a lot of power tablets if they want to kill us with Psychic Leap, and I think they probably already used a few because they did like 280 damage. So I think they used up like 2 power tablets already. Oh, no power tablets though. How did they do so much damage? Oh, they did Meloetta. They used Melodious Echo. I thought they used their power tablets. So they actually could have done Psychic Leap with 3 power tablets to kill the Gardevoir, and then shuffle back the Mew into the deck, removing all the damage counters, but they did not do that. So that was quite lucky of us. If we did the Raihan, Rod for the Gardevoir, Incense to evolve, we may get enough energies for a one-hit knockout on the VMAX. I don't know. We need 9 though, so Raihan attached from the hand, we got 5 already. Shining Arcana, I don't think it's enough though. We can attach up to 7 and do up to 280 damage, 270 my bad. 270 damage is not enough to even kill an Arceus, so that's the bad thing about Gardevoir. You need a lot of energies for you to do a knockout, and we may not be able to do it until our final strike. Until our final 2 strikes or that final 1 strike, it's okay. At least you get that, that one big kill, which is gonna earn you a lot of prize cards to give you that big comeback. And we are not actually doing a comeback essentially, because we're attacking every single turn. We're not doing that badly. We're doing quite a decent amount of damage every single turn. Swirling Slice is a 2-hit knockout strategy. Brainwave do a decent 150 at least with 3 energy attached. So we're not doing too badly early on in the game. And then we actually get to do more and more and more until we can kill something with 1 hit. Okay, we got 2 bosses in our hand, they're done. We got another Gallade, we got our rare candy inside the deck, I think. We just need to boss the Oricorio or the Meloetta, they're done. Not doing Psychic Leap was a big mistake. I thought we had the Genesect knockout though. I mean, I really thought we do. So, if it's too early, if you can't get that much energy, if you're not sure if if you're not sure there's enough energy you can attach to the Gardevoir for a knockout on a V card, because a V card still needs a lot of damage. You still need at least 5 or even 6 energies to kill it with a brainwave hit. If you can't do it, make sure you attack with Gallade first. That's why it's the golden rule, I suppose. Attack with Swirling Slice, and that guarantees you extra energies on your bench. Even if they boss, you got your second Gardevoir, and then you're good to go on your next turn to charge up another Gardevoir. So always share. I mean, I'm repeating myself, but this is like so important. This is very important. You need to be very careful with this. So since it's like the final countdown, it's the final stage of the game, I decided to just invest everything on 1 copy and kill off. We can even kill the Genesect with our boss. 190 damage, kill off the Oricorio for the final prize, winning against a Mew VMAX deck. Hyper meta, crazy, powerful deck. They didn't play any Avery though, surprisingly. So no Avery, no Psychic Leap. We were a bit lucky, I would say, but I don't think we played it too smart. It's kind of like the early stage of this deck, early stage of gameplay, so I wasn't really that smart when I started playing with this deck. And eventually I realized that Gallade should be attacking first, because that's better. It just makes the deck much better that way. Swirling Slice is a very strong attack. It has, don't look down, don't underestimate the ability. The effect, my bad. The effect is so interesting because it helps your Gardevoir. Well, I already explained myself, so I'm not going to do it again. But it helps your Gardevoir on your next turn, and it sets up, it prepares you for a lot of damage later. So even though it's just like those tiny, like that 1 energy, it's going to do a lot. It's only 1 energy, but it's going to do a lot. Don't underestimate that card. So right now we're up against Urshifu. They are playing a fighting type. So we have the advantage here, finally. It's not that easy. I mean, it's quite rare for you to get a perfect matchup like this. So never take the game too lightly. Always prepare for the worst. But at least right now we get to take a breath and own the game a little bit by playing a Psychic Fairy to knock out a VMAX with one hit, hitting the weakness for 1,000,000,000 damage. Okay, here comes Shady Dealings. They did a Marnie, but at least we got a Ultra Ball for the Kirlia. So this list actually has a Caitlyn. This is one of the earlier versions. Caitlyn is gonna help us. So we got a Gallade, which is all we need. This is the interesting part about this deck. We got like 1 Ultra Ball, 3 Incense, 2 Gallades, 2 Breeder to get the Gallade. Well, Breeder is not gonna... It's better to use Breeder for 2 Gardevoirs, right? If you already have a Breeder in your hand, it's better to just use them for to multiply, to do Shining Arcana more times. And then think about your Gallade later. Once you get that ability in play, you actually get to search for anything. You get to search for your boss, Raihan, Breeder. First thing to do obviously is Pokemon Breeder. Adventurous Discovery. What are they gonna search for? Another Urshifu probably. What else? So this deck is not really that strong against heal decks. If they heal a lot, if they play cards like Inteleon VMAX, the Rapid Strike Inteleon with Cheryl, you know, with Big Charm, that's very popular nowadays. It's actually really strong because electric decks are not that popular these days. So they're trying to hit the meta decks like Mew VMAX, Arceus VSTAR with Gengar. What else? A Dialga V-Star, Darkrai V-Star, all of those new decks that doesn't feature any electric types actually gets owned by Inteleon. Because Inteleon has 350 HP with Big Charm, and they get to do Cheryl every single turn. They get to do, you know, what's the attack called again? I forgot what the attack is called. Max something. Do 140 damage, and then put that energy back into their hand, and then keep attaching the Rapid Strike energy. If they play Temple of Sinnoh, you can play your Tower of Waters Octillery. So it's not that easy. It's not that difficult to win. It's not that difficult to win with an Inteleon. All you need to do is heal, 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 tank, 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 and you actually get a lot of damage with that Choice Belt as well. So 170 damage. You get to do a 2-hit knockout on a VMAX, on a V-Star, and Inteleon is just crazy. Choice Belt actually makes it insane, right? But if you have a Big Charm, you can't do Choice Belt. If you have a Choice Belt, you can't do Big Charm, so that's the problem. If they can hit 320, if they do Regigigas, with a powerful energy, they can kill it. So Regigigas can still knock out, can still own an Inteleon deck. It's not perfect. Single Strike can still kill an Inteleon. Gengar, I suppose. Well, Arceus Gengar can't, because it only does 280 damage. Gengar with Arceus doesn't actually work that well, because you don't have single strike energy. Maybe one or two copies inside the deck, but it's still not enough. Okay. Gardevoir's stick figure. So I don't know why I'm like creepily caressing Gardevoir's body with the cursor, but just ignore that. You know, cause her body is like a stick. Look at that. It's so thin. Stick figure. Gardevoir. And now we have Gallade, which is also a psychic type. Well, the same symbol, but a different type. Gardevoir is actually a fairy, and it does not have resistance. So bad thing about fairy is that it's not actually resistant to fighting type. I thought it was, but it's not. Fairy has no resistance, which is just ridiculous, isn't it? Water type has no resistance, grass type has no resistance, fire type has no resistance, so anything has no resistance. I don't think anything but Metal type and Psychic has resistance, right? Metal type is resistant to grass. I think that's all there is. Um, Electric type used to be resistant to metal, but it's not anymore. Grass type, I'm not sure if it's resistant to anything. Dark type, is it resistant to Psychic? I don't think so, not anymore. So that's the only resistance, I think. Only 2 types has resistance, which is a bit sad. If I'm not mistaken, if you guys know about anything, just please let me know. I'm a bit... I take things too lightly sometimes, so never ignore the details. The details does matter, and if you look past even the smallest thing, you're gonna lose the entire game and you're not gonna win. That's how tight this game is. You can't afford to look past even the tiniest detail. So we're gonna just boss the Urshifu and do a big knockout right here for a massive 3 prize. We got another boss with a buddy catch on the next turn. So if they don't kill the Gallade, we got another boss. So for this game, we actually got only only 2 Kirlias inside the deck. Mirage Step didn't actually work that well, but I don't think they killed the Kirlia. So they didn't kill the active because they couldn't get the Gale Thrust that easily. That's the bad thing about playing Shady Dealings, because you actually need your Scoop Up Net to be able to do Gale Thrust early, and it's not that easy to get that card. If you play your Shady for a Scoop Up Net, if you don't have another bench Sobble, then you can't actually search for other cards. So it kind of defeats its purpose. It defeats its own existence. There's kind of no point playing a Drizzile if you're only searching for a Scoop Up Net just to bench a Sobble on the same turn. Okay, they got their second copy. I think they're planning to attack with the Inteleon like throughout the game. I don't know what's happening here because they're just not using the Urshifu to attack. They're like super afraid of the Gardevoir. They shouldn't be benching that many though. Like they just evolved 2 VMAXs, giving us on a silver platter the delicious 3 prize attacker, which is quite silly. I mean, if you're not attacking with it, why are you evolving? It happens though. I mean, you make mistakes and then you like, oh shit, what am I gonna do now? Right? It does happen. They couldn't even knock out the active, which is sad. Aqua Bullet does 0 damage to the bench because we have a Menifee. Only one of your bench Pokemon though. It's quite sad. Inteleon is quite weak, but the ability is insane. I suppose that's the reason. Okay, we got Shining Arcana for another energy. We're just gonna do the boss right now. We actually got it. Buddy Catch. And Shining Arcana for more energies. How much can we do this turn? So 240 multiplied by 2. That's 480 damage to kill a second VMAX for the win. Bye bye Urshifu. They got a Victini deck box though. What's it for? Carlos is playing a Darkness deck, and they have a Fire coin as well. So let's see what we're up against right now. We got a Fairy deck box for Gardevoir, a Psychic deck sleeve, and a Mewtwo coin for Gallade, the new Astral Radiance Gallade, and also the new Secret Rare Gardevoir. So we have the character rare Gardevoir right now for Astral Radiance as well. And we actually played 1 copy inside this deck, which is pretty cool. So Bride and Groom is out to play. Well, out to kill really, not out to play. Like, they're not playing in the bedroom. They're playing like outdoors. They're playing outdoors, okay? Psychic Pokemon. Brainwave. Isn't it weird? It does a psychic attack for a fairy type. Brainwave is a psychic move. I love the name of the ability though. Shining Arcana is just so catchy. The name just fits so well. So right now we got unlucky. We got 2 Kirlias in our hand. I'm praying that they're gonna do a Marnie on the next turn. If we get 1 prize, we can only do Mirage Step for our 3rd Kirlia. Sorry, for our 2nd Kirlia in play. And then if they kill the active on the next turn, we got 1 Kirlia left to evolve into the Gardevoir. That's gonna be super bad. And they're playing a Gengar VMAX single strike. So it's actually looking good for us. Single strike actually means they can only kill 1 Pokemon at a time. And we got a lot of prize if we can kill the VMAX. I don't think they're evolving though. They may just choose not to evolve and deny us the extra 1 prize. If they don't evolve, we can kill it much faster. If they evolve, they may be able to tank a knockout, but they're doing they're doing single strike roar. I don't think they can hold that much damage. So we don't need a lot of energies to kill the VMAX. And they played a Marnie though. Look at that. They helped us put those Kirlia back inside the deck. We only got that many evolution summons though, so we actually have our breeder put in the bottom as well. But we got Kirlia and another Kirlia from the top 4 cards of the deck, which is quite lucky. But we got Incense, Ultra Ball. I don't think it's that difficult to get it in, from the top 4 cards of the deck. Okay, that was quite lucky because we got only 1 summon. If they don't play the Marnie, we only get to summon 1 extra copy. So now we get to summon 2 extra ones. And Gallade for another one. Another Gardevoir. Okay, here comes... Oh, it's not a VMAX. They're not doing the VMAX. They're evolving another Houndoom. Single strike energy. So they're only doing 60 damage to the Kirlia because Kirlia is a fairy type. It's not a psychic. Fortunately. Okay, they're doing Pain Explosion now. Let's hope they don't switch and they just pass the turn. Good. So no switching. We actually got a free strike against the Crobat. Let's hope we can kill it this turn. We don't need a lot of energies. We just need 4. Yep, 4 energies is all we need. So let's do Buddy Catch for Pokemon Breeder. We should be doing Skyla though, right? Skyla for the Incense and then Evolve. But we did the Breeder, which is quite silly. I don't know why, but Skyla for the Incense makes more sense because you get to reduce more cards from the deck. And we got 0 energies with the first Arcana. That's not good. I don't think we can kill the Crobat because we need 2 energies with the second one. We got only 1. That's horrible. Oh well. We're gonna attach to Gallade and then prepare it for the attack as well after this one dies, if it dies. Oh, we actually retreated to the Gallade though. Okay. That's weird. So I made the same mistake with the Mew VMAX game as you saw. Earlier in the previous matchup, we actually attacked with Gardevoir way too early, and that actually, run the risk of them doing a Psychic Leap to basically erase those damage that we did and cause us to waste an entire turn doing nothing. So make sure you don't do that. Make sure you evolve Gallade as your active. You know, transform your active Kirlia into a Gallade and attack with Swirling Slice. Just do it. Like, just do Swirling Slice. I know you're not doing a knockout early, but it's always just better to be disciplined, to just stick with the program, because you're not able to get that much energies. You're not able to do even a Crobat knockout. 4 energies is all you need, but it's not that easy, because you got so many trainer cards in your deck, you got so many Pokemon cards left. Supporter item, we got a lot of item cards in this deck, so it's not that easy, honestly. Especially if you only have 2 Gardevoirs. Like, don't be too optimistic. It's only the top 2 cards of your deck. So play safe and do Swirling Slice first. And then that actually helps you do more and more damage. I keep repeating the same thing because it's like so... It's 101, right? It's a Gallade deck. It's the very essence of a Gallade deck. Make use of the attack, not just the ability. Shining Arcana. So as you see, we're sharing our energy on 2 Gardevoirs every single turn. Every time we are attaching energies, we have to share them between 2 copies, preparing for a boss knockout. So we're moving to one of the Gardevoirs on the bench. We got a choice belt for the... We actually got a choice belt though. Why didn't we kill the Crobat? Why didn't we kill the Crobat? We got a choice belt. Oh my goodness. What the flip? Okay, we played Breeder for nothing. I have no idea why I did that. Could have done a boss, but we just played Breeder for nothing. It's just weird. Okay, let's do Shining for a Crobat knockout. I don't think it's smart to do a boss, because they're already giving us... We already got a free V knockout this turn. So don't play our boss if you already have a free V knockout. Okay, let's collect energies on a Gardevoir. We got 2. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. We got a Recycler for the next turn as well. Okay, let's Power Cyclone. We got 3 on both Gardevoirs now. So we just need like 5 more on one or the other to do a VMAX knockout. 5 more with a Choice Belt is enough. Without a Choice Belt is enough to kill a single strike VMAX, because they got damage counters on it. You know, they got damage counters from the Houndoom's ability. I think they're probably gonna do Dark Slumber. Pain Explosion is gonna hurt themselves. They cannot afford to do more damage to, you know, to the Gengar. They have to conserve their HP. It doesn't matter now, because they already wasted too many turns. It really doesn't matter, because Gardevoir is gonna kill you. We got like so many Gardevoirs on the bench. They better be playing a boss. If they don't do a boss, they're done for. There we go. Dark Slumber for 160 damage, because we are actually a Psychic type. So they actually did just right 80 damage times 2. Just enough damage to kill to knock out our stage 2 Gallade. And we did Raihan for our Rare Candy, because we could do a Gengar knockout with a Gallade. So we actually did our Gallade another time, just because we want to play our Choice Belt. 190 damage is exactly enough, so Swirling Slice for a knockout, look at that. Okay, Shining Arcana, it's not that difficult to get energies. We just need like 2 energies. We got even 1 energy to attach from our hand, so we're good. We're definitely good. We don't need any more, honestly, but let's just see how much we can do. Attach, attach, attach. Caitlyn doesn't really work well, because you don't even have that much energy in your hand anyways, unless if they play Marnie or something. If they play a Marnie or like a Judge, And if you have like nothing but energy in your hand, you can actually do Buddy Catch for a Caitlyn, put those energy cards back into the deck, back at the bottom of your deck, and then draw new cards from the Caitlyn. So that would be like a very narrow situation, not a lot of cases. Like it's just like one case out of 10. It's very rare that your opponent would do that. You know, even if they play a Marnie or a Judge, you would at least get 1 or 2 item cards in your hand. And even if you have a lot of energies, you know, even if you have like 3 energies in your hand after a Marnie, you can actually attach directly, use them every single turn by attaching to your Pokemon while you play the Shining Arcana ability. So it's not really too bad. It's not necessary. That supporter card is just not necessary. So they just did a Marnie. We just talked about you and you just came up. Marnie showing up every single game. And there we go, we got only 2 energies. What I tell ya? We only got 2 energies. But we attached so many already though. We've attached 9, 10, 11. We got 11 energy cards in play, which is ridiculous. They did not do a boss. Our Gardevoir on the bench survived that many turns though. They didn't get their Bibarel, they didn't get anything. I mean, it's actually quite sad. They got Incense, but they chose not to evolve the Bibarel. They evolved a second Houndoom, right? They actually got the Incense earlier. They could have done the Bibarel, but they did the Houndoom instead. So that was a big mistake, I suppose. Because Bibarel would probably earn them another evolution anyways. So let's see how much damage we can pull off with the final Gardevoir, the final strike. We've got 7 energies with this one. Shining Arcana for another 1 energy. We're probably going to play our item cards. I don't want to shuffle the deck though, just because we only have one energy in our hand. You know, on the last turn before the Marnie. So that means if we shuffle the deck, we would probably get nothing but supporter cards or like trainer cards in our hand with the Shining Arcana. So let's just kill off the VMAX right now. We actually got exactly enough to kill the Gengar without damage counters. I think it's only 320 HP though, so we got 330 damage in the bag, securing a VMAX knockout with 1 strike. If they play Eternatus, we actually need 1 more energy. We need like 10, either 10 energies or 9 basic psychic plus a choice belt. So we need to do 360 to kill it. Okay, right now we're up against a psychic box. They got Shadow Rider, they got Dragapult as well. So very interesting psychic box. A 1-hit KO attacker with a 1 prize killer. So Dragapult kills a 1 prize. Shadow Rider kills a VMAX. Right? It can kill VSTAR and VMAX with 1 hit. If you play Cresselia, if you can get your energy cards fast enough. If you can't do Max Jice for a knockout yet, you can actually play your Dragapult first. You can even do Underworld Door to charge up your Dragapult. So it's actually quite interesting. There is a synergy there, obviously, just because they are both ghost types. Okay, they played a Marnie. I knew they were gonna do that. I mean, hence the smiley face. We got a pretty decent hand, but they just had to play a Marnie. We got an even better hand though, I would say. Because we can now play a level ball for a 3rd Ralts. They couldn't kill our active, which is great news. And now we get to Mirage Step while bringing out our 3rd Ralts. Well, our 2nd one, now that the first one is evolved. The first one's all grown up. Not really fully grown up, but she's a teenager now. Kirlia. It's a ballet Pokemon, isn't it? She's a ballet Pokemon. Fairy type. So from ballet, because she does a pirouette. I mean, you know, she's walking on her tippy toes, and she has like the ballet skirt on, and you know, it's a very ballet Pokemon, I would say. Doing arabesque and stuff. Kirlia. So Kirlia is a fairy psychic type, and when it evolves into Gallade, it becomes a fighting Pokemon, which is actually related to martial arts. So ballet, from ballet to martial arts, pretty interesting. And Gardevoir is actually not a dancing Pokemon because it has a huge gown, and I don't think that gown is for dancing. Maybe some creepy spirit dance, or like, you know, some spiritual cult dance or something. A wedding dress. She has a wedding dress. And like a bouquet stuck to her chest. She has a bouquet sticking out of her chest. Ah. Well, her breast, if she has any. Doesn't seem like she has a breast. Okay, we got our third Gardevoir without having to play our... what's it called again? Ultra Ball. But I was actually thinking of maybe evolving a Gallade for the final Kirlia, because, well, you never know. So we couldn't do our rare candy evolution, unfortunately. So we're just gonna confuse them and prepare the Gardevoir for the attack, possibly. Let's hope we can evolve into the Gallade on the next turn and do a 2-hit knockout on the Dragapult, because we can't do enough damage for a knockout yet. It's better to just Swirling Slice first and think about stuff later. So we did a boss, interestingly, preventing a Gardevoir knockout, because if they do a boss on the next turn, they can actually kill the Gardevoir, the damaged one, and then place another extra 5 damage counters on the bench, which is horrible. We don't want to be having too many Gardevoirs sacrificed that early. We want to be having as many in play as we can every single turn. That's not just our energy attachment system, that's also our draw engine. If we run out of Gardevoirs, we have no way to draw cards from our deck. We're stuck. We can't do anything. If we have no Gallade, that would be even worse, because we got no Raihan, we got nothing to set our system running. Not enough Gardevoir means you got not enough energy to attack, obviously, but I don't think we need to draw anything else, right? We just need to attach energy if we have already the stage 2 in play. We don't need to draw any more cards into our hand. We can actually play Buddy Catch for Raihan, so we don't need anything else. We may need to draw out a rare candy to secure us another copy for Shining Arcana, for another Shining Arcana. So let's hope we get our rare candy. We got a Skyla for the rare candy, which is great. And we actually did... That was quite sad though. We couldn't do Swirling Slice. I thought we were trying to pull it off this turn, but apparently we just did a rare candy for our 4th Gardevoir and almost got enough to kill the Shadow Rider. But not quite. We just need that one more energy. And if we do our second boss, we can actually kill the Inteleon or the Drizzle on the bench with our next Gardevoir. And then for the final brainwave hit, we can actually do a VMAX knockout to earn the final 3 prize for the win. So had we killed the V card this turn, it's gonna actually do us a lot of good. Obviously, if they evolve right now, I don't think they're going to, but if they evolve, it's gonna be really good for us because we got a VMAX knockout next turn. So, and they did though, they evolved the Shadow Rider, giving us a 3 prize on the next turn, unless if they do a Cheryl. I mean, it's not off the table yet because they got shady dealings, so they can still play a Cheryl. But they did Karina though. They did Karina this turn, so it's done. Shadow Rider is not surviving on the next turn, unless if we couldn't do our Gallade though. So we have no boss in our deck. We have no boss in our hand. We have no Gallade in play. We can't actually search for that card. If they retreat, we're done for. And oh, we got a free knockout. We got a free VMAX knockout this turn. That's perfect. They did nothing. They didn't switch. They didn't attack. They virtually did nothing. They evolved just to attach their 1 energy to the bench, just to draw 2 cards, and that actually destroyed them a lot. I don't think they can afford to waste another prize. It's just not smart. Because now all we need is a Dragapult VMAX knockout to win the game. So we got a Kirlia from the Rod and Level Ball. We're going to do Shining Arcana for 2 energies. Going to spread it to our bench. Preparing for Dragapult to get assassinated. Kill the Dragapult. So Manaphy doesn't protect our bench from damage counters, that's why I didn't bench it. Dragapult still gets to hit Manaphy. Manaphy is not perfect, as we all know. Kind of sucks now that we have Cologne. So Cologne against Manaphy is going to be horrible. Okay, Shadow Rider is dead. Now we just have to deal with the second VMAX. They have to attack with something else though, because they can't kill the Gardevoir. There's no way they can kill the Gardevoir with 1 hit. Dragapult is too weak. I mean, we don't even need to be spreading our energies just now. We should have just attached to the active, everything. If they have a Zigzagoon though, you never know. So O-Savagery doesn't work against Psychic Pokemons. It's actually meant for Ghost type, but I suppose Psychic is part of the Supernatural. Fairy as well. Pretty interesting, isn't it? The unknown, the magical, and the enchanted, the spiritual, the ethereal is all the same symbol. It's all purple. It's all the purple type. It's under the category of the third eye, I suppose. Third eye representing psychic, representing fairy, and also ghost, the evil eye. Oh, they did quick shoot though. Okay, they killed us. They have quick shoot. Forgot about that. My bad. Inteleon can do a knockout, and they almost killed the Gardevoir on the bench. Let's thank God they didn't, but I don't think they could have though. Even if they got the second Inteleon. Okay, we got Raihan, we got Recycler, they're done for. That's how good Raihan is. It actually gets you your Recycler or Rod, and helping you search for, you know, if you do a Rod, you can actually do another evolution right after playing the Raihan with your Rare Candy Rod, Rare Candy Incense. If you Raihan for Recycler, that's gonna guarantee you a lot of energy with your Shining Arcana, helping you do a 1-hit knockout much easier. So let's see how much we get to do. We're gonna draw everything out from the deck first. We're gonna draw out the supporter card, draw out the evolution, and then play our Shining Arcana after that to rake in as much energy as we can onto the active. We got 7 energies already. We just need 2 more. 2 more is all it takes to kill the VMAX. So let's just sift out the non-energies. Shining Arcana a second time. Got 2, that's it, they're done. It's over. It's over, Dragapult. Bye-bye. We already attached from the hand though, so no more attachment from the hand. We got a Choice Belt to do even more damage. Another Gallade with the rare candy, so we get to do 360 damage, but we just decided to kill it without the Choice Belt for some reason, because we're too lazy, I suppose. So we won against Shadow Rider just because they were a bit too slow, and also they evolved the active knowing quite well that it's gonna get knocked out on the next turn, giving us an extra prize, which is quite silly, but you know, it helps them charge up the energies. It helps them gets the second one going, because they actually got not enough energies to attack with the Shadow Rider on the next turn had they not evolved the active, had they not used the ability. Okay, right now we're up against a Psychic colorless box again, but I don't think they're playing Whimsicott this time. They're playing I don't know what they're playing, honestly. No more Whimsicott. I think it's a Zacian deck. Okay, it's a Zacian v Mewtwo v Union. Celebration Zacian, Roar of the Sword with Mewtwo v Union. There we go. It's a V Union deck. Size Explosion for 16 damage counters. I don't think that's enough though. If we have too many routes benched, that's gonna help them collect extra prizes. So I think that's something to be aware of. Don't bench so many routes, so many basics. Don't even bench your Menifee if they have a spread attacker. You know, something like Mimikyu VMAX or Mewtwo, Size Explosion, Runrigus, Spreading Spite, something that does a lot of damage to all of your Pokemon. Even Moonlight Shuriken, the new Greninja, does 90 damage to two of your opponent's Pokemon. But if you have Menifee though, they can actually target your bench. So that's the power of Menifee now. Menifee is the reason people are not playing cards like Zapdos anymore, I suppose. Zapdos, you know, the Zapdos one price, and the thing that hit the bench, Cramorant V for 190 damage, sorry, 160 damage. I forgot what the attack is called. Oh my goodness, I actually forgot. So discard all energies from this Pokemon and do 160 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. You get to hit the bench, obviously. People are not playing Electivire as well, because that attack is actually quite cool. You do 50x damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon for only 3 energies. That's quite radical. It's kind of like the amazing Kyogre, except you do 30 less damage. And if you have your Telescopic Sight, you just need like 3 strikes to kill a Crobat. You just need 3 strikes to kill. Well, 2 strikes if you have Telescopic Sight early. But I don't think it's that easy to get that tool card. We have Oranguru now though, so if you want to be searching for that, any tool cards that you need, you can play Oranguru V for back order to search for Choice Belt, Telescopic Sight, Air Balloon, anything. Lucky Egg even. Experience Share, Farewell Bell. Nobody uses that. It would be pretty cool to watch someone play like Heatran VMAX with Farewell Bell. Well, it's not supposed to get knocked out, right? If Heatran gets knocked out, then it kind of, if it gets knocked out, we should be pulling out a second one, obviously, but it kind of defeats the purpose of the whole strategy, because the main tech of playing a Heatran is to tank as much damage and heal over and over as much as you can to earn you extra turns for extra blows, because you get to attack with that card as well, doing attacks every single turn. 200 damage is not bad. It's a decent amount of damage. With the burn effect, you get to do a total of 200 damage over and over and over until the entire game comes to an end, with that one single Heatran surviving the whole match. Okay, we got Boss, Buddy Catch, Breeder. We're gonna play our Breeder. We got 2 Gardevoirs. Again, we actually decided to put the Gardevoir as the active. Not smart. Just saying, it's just not smart. We are not able to get that much energies. It's just impossible. We are not able to do a V knockout for our first hit. It's just unrealistic to aim for that. So we got a Peony for this list. Pretty interesting. Peony helps you get your Rare Candy evolution. It helps you get stadium cards, anything, any trainer, like Rot and Incense, Rare Candy, Recycler, and I don't know, a Breeder or a Boss for the next turn. Okay, we're gonna play Shining Arcana for the last time. And we couldn't even attack. There we go. Had we put Gallade as the active, we could have done Swirling Slice this turn, doing at least 160 damage. And now we got 0 damage on the active. We're doing nothing, passing the turn. That's how dumb it is not playing the Gallade as your active. I mean, we've made the same mistake over and over. Make sure you guys don't make the same mistake as we are doing. I'm sorry about that, just because this deck is actually pretty difficult to play. We got really optimistic when we were trying to win with this list. So we keep putting Gardevoir as the first attacker, but it just doesn't work. Always attack with Gallade first. Golden rule, nothing else matters. That's like the priority of this deck. Swirling Slice has to go first. If you attack with Gardevoir first, you're sacrificing the active, you're sacrificing your Gardevoir for nothing, because it's not doing a knockout. It's just not doing a knockout. No way. Unless if you're lucky enough to get like 8 energies on your first turn, well, on your second turn, with 4 Gardevoirs. Virtually impossible. We only have 22 copies of Psychic Energy in this deck, so you may think about adding more energies just to guarantee you extra copies with Shining Arcana, doing a one-hit knockout more easily, but I think the risk is heavier. If you have too many energies, you're not going to be able to evolve that fast. You're not going to be able to do your Breeder without the Gallade, so you still need enough copies, enough evolution supply, your Incense, your Ultra Ball, stuff to get that Gallade. Raihan can even search for Gallade, and then Gallade can help you draw out your Pokemon Breeder to either evolve 2 Gardevoirs this turn or on the next. So Gardevoir needs to evolve fast. If we don't do that, we're screwed. We need to be attaching energies by the time we get, our first evolution. Our first stage 2 card, we need to be doing the ability every single turn. Make sure you don't miss a single copy. It's quite easy to miss it sometimes. Marnie's Pride, we got that weird card in this deck as well. Preparing for, the bench attacker, which is pretty cool. Okay, Shining Arcana, 1 energy at a time. Pretty lame. Pretty sure we have enough to attack. There we go, we got 2 energies. Not enough to do a knockout, we need like 6 energies. Okay, we got only 4. Hitting 180 damage early. Not bad. Zacian is actually doing the same thing. So the attack is the same as the stage 2 1 prize card. Celebrations Zacian doing the same effect of attack, the same amount of damage boost with I forgot the attack. But doing the same as our Chilling Rain Gardevoir, Brainwave. Okay, they knocked us out. Now we're gonna do Swirling Slice for a Zacian knockout. Swirling Slice with Choice Belt. I don't think we need the Choice Belt. Okay. We're still thinking what we want to be doing because we got a boss in our hand. We could quite easily boss the Articuno, anything else with the Gardevoir to do a one-hit knockout. But oh my goodness, we did that again. Should definitely be playing the Gallade. Come on, do the Gallade. Oh my goodness, why am I doing this? Make full use of that card. Take opportunity to play that attack while you can, because if you can't, if you don't use it when the opportunity arises for you to do a knockout, especially with that lame attack, because it's not doing that much damage. If you can do a knockout with it, make sure you do, because you get to move an energy, which is a big deal. It is a big deal, guys. It is a big deal. So Marnie's probably get us an extra 1 energy on the bench. That's gonna be changed to a Raihan. Sorry, guys. Okay, we got 2 energies with the first Gardevoir. Pretty cool. Let's see how much we can get with the second one. We actually got a third copy in play, so we don't need to worry too much. And we already did the first one. Okay, when is Mewtwo gonna show up though? They got Mewtwo V Union waiting in the winds. Articuno to discard, Ultra Ball for Bibarel to get the remaining pieces. They got Peonia. It's coming out a bit too late. I'm gonna play the Recycler and then Shining Arcana after that. Buddy Catch and Swirling Slice. So if they force us to kill the V Union, we can choose to play boss to kill something else. They got a really weird box. They got Zacian for the energy, Cramorant for the big catch, and Togekiss VMAX, I suppose, for more searches. So anyways, I'm gonna end the voiceover right here and leave you guys to focus on the game, enjoy the music, enjoy the gameplay, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye for now, lovely people! Today we're featuring the new Gallade from Astral Radiance with the Body Catch ability, allowing you to search your deck for a supporter card and put it into your hand once during your turn. It also has the Swirling Slice attack doing 160 damage and moving an energy from this Pokemon to one of our bench Gardevoir, preparing to do big damage with it later on in the game. And we're also using our Gardevoir to attack with brainwave, doing 30x damage for each psychic energy attached to this Pokemon, plus a 60 base damage, knocking out a VSTAR or VMAX Pokemon with 1 hit late stage in the game. We even have the 1 Choice Belt and 2 Raihan for the extra damage boost, 1 Energy Recycler, 2 Rods, and 2 Rare Candy to revive our Gardevoir and also to shuffle back our energy cards into the deck, making sure we get to do Shining Arcana for as much energies as we can, doing massive damage with this stage 2 fairy Pokemon. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye for now, lovely people. Enjoy your life.